Hi, welcome everyone. Welcome to today's sharing session. I'm Ebenezer Heng. Now, today, the sharing session is going to be a little bit more fun, and of course, we want to learn something from it. Now, just a couple of days ago, we asked our Instagram community which one do they prefer, which brand do they prefer, Starbucks or Coffee Bean? About 1,000 over people saw the survey, the poll. Close to 300 people participated in it, and the vote they gave to Coffee Bean. So they prefer Coffee Bean over Starbucks now out of 300 people. Now, of course, in the subsequent days, there are a lot of feedback. I have friends telling me that the sample size is too small, the way the image is portrayed is not clear enough. Now, however, may I summarize to say that when given a choice, we gave them a choice of Coffee Bean versus Starbucks, they chose Coffee Bean. Now, in the upcoming session, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and see the online stats, not just one country, 3 countries, and then I'm going to do a comparison. Now, there are a few things, a few hypotheses that I want to test and I'll bring out to you. Now, a lot of people, there is this saying, oh, this chain is more successful because they have a lot of outlets. So what they're alluding to is if you have a lot of physical presence, you will have a bigger online presence and thereby giving you a higher level of success. Now I'm going to break down the stats and we're going to see whether is that true. And of course, using the stats, we're going to look at whether is it still people prefer Coffee Bean or is it more people will prefer Starbucks. Now with that being said, let's go into the session. Slightly before going there, and if you have been following what we share about food and beverage, what we share about the coffee industry, and if you like the content, do give us a like, and better still, do subscribe and follow us. Now, let's go on to the comparison of the stats. Now, as I mentioned, we're going to look at 3 countries, and I'm going to show you in the report below, the link below, you can download the full report, or you can go and read the article where I do a breakdown and comparison of the 3 countries. But in this particular video, I'm just going to take out randomly some case studies, some stats to compare. Now, of course, we look at Malaysia right now, and you can see this is the number of searches per month when they search for the word Starbucks. Okay, when you look at for Starbucks in Malaysia, this 200 over 1,000. So let's look at similarly in Malaysia for Coffee Bean and Tea Leaves, how many searches there are over at the same period. Now, and this is Malaysia Coffee Bean and Tea Leaves. Now, over the same period, we're talking about over 1 month, we have about 12,000. So 200,000, 12,000. So the number speaks for itself. Now, in case you're thinking, oh, is that Malaysia stats? What about other places? Sure, that's why we have 3 countries. We want to ascertain that there are more people searching for Starbucks and not Coffee Bean. If you look at these stats, we are looking at Philippines. So we are looking at 200,000 again. So there are 200,000 people searching for Starbucks in Philippines. And if we go on and look at Coffee Bean and Tea Leaves in Philippines, let's look at the stats. Now you see that there's about 12,000 of them searching for Coffee Bean and Tea Leaves in Philippines. Now that gives you a very strong case to put forward to you that when not given a choice, more people will actually go for Starbucks rather than Coffee Bean and Tea Leaves. Now, as the stats shows, of course, I can actually go on to Singapore and the stats will be the same. There are more people searching for Starbucks. There are more people looking for the brand and the brand-related keywords. Could be ice blended, the menu, and so on, rather than Coffee Bean and Tea Leaves. This gives out a very, very clear winner. Now, here, I just want to put forth something. With 300, if given a choice of Coffee Bean and Tea Leaves, there are more people choosing Coffee Bean. Now, when left to their own, as you are going through your day-to-day and you're going to search for something, it could be location, it could be a drink, it could be ice blended, it could be the menu, it could be the takeaway. More people look for Starbucks. Now, that means something. Now, in case Now, what I'm going to go to the next session is it because Starbucks has more outlets, that's why the online presence is stronger? Now, that's one question we want to bounce off. And of course, another question that we want to bounce off and want to look at for appreciating from the stats is, does it mean that more people in a country, you will get a higher online presence? Okay, this is the next session, the next topic that we want to touch on. With that being said, let's go into it right now. Now, when you look at online presence, a lot of people, in fact, for the big brands, of course, they have this saying, so offline has an impact on online. That is true. That's true to a certain extent. But of course, there are things that brands have undertaken and they have done to even further push out their brand to even more people. Now, in this case, if you look at the base number of 135,000 in Singapore, that means on any given month, there are 135,000 searches relating to Starbucks. They have 130 outlets plus minus in Singapore, which means to say that if we say that the searches correspond to the number of outlets, Coffee Bean and Tea Leaves has about 60 outlets. Am I right to say that they should have around 60,000 searches? Because what a lot of people are thinking about is, oh, I have the outlet in Parkway or wherever, whichever location, and people will be searching for it, whether the location or this. Now, what I'm saying is Starbucks is doing a lot more marketing, a lot more awareness program to get that many people looking for it. And it builds on the things that you do on your social media, whether it's your Instagram, whether it's your Facebook, has a build-on effect, and it's a subliminal effect. It gives people recollection and they will look for it on the search engine rank page, on the various search engine. Now let's take a look at it. So 135,130 outlets, that's the numbers. 60 outlets, what is the number? So this is the number for Coffee Bean and Tea Leaves. So you have not even crossed 15,000. We will, if we do the math, it should be about 60 over 1,000. So it's a very, very long stretch. That means it's very far away. Now, I do not know both this chain, their exact marketing and what they do. So it's not fair for me to make a comment. But what I'm sharing with you is not everything is related to just the physical location. Whatever that Starbucks has, they had gotten it because of the brand building exercise over the years, over the months, and of course the thing that they have done. Some very well, some not so well. The promotion that they launch, the merchandise that they launch. Now, of course, to be fair, I believe Coffee Bean and Tea Leaves is doing the same thing. And of course, in the months and years to come, they could be doing a lot more things and the awareness can grow as well. Now, for F&B outlets that are out there, so you need to take note of the online is only limited and restricted by your imagination and, of course, investment. What you want to do there is not just by one outlet. Of course, with online delivery, you can do a lot more things. Okay, now let's look at its population corresponding to the online awareness. What I'm saying is, if in Manila and Malaysia, there are a lot more people, does that mean that there are a lot more awareness? In Singapore, there are lesser people. That means our online presence or online activity is a little bit lesser. Let's take a look at it. Now, this is the stats of the number of searches in Philippines for Starbucks. Philippines has around 300 over Starbucks outlet. And per month, they track around 201,000 searches, people inquiring, asking about things relating to Starbucks. And of course, in Philippines, their population is a lot bigger than Singapore, which I'm doing a comparison. So 201,000, 300 over outlets in Philippines. So what do we have in Singapore? Now, as I mentioned earlier, Singapore has about, right now it's 130 outlets. And this particular month, they track around 135,000 searches. Now, sure, we are about 70,000 searches lesser than Philippines. But I'm sure a lot of audience will agree with me. If you factor into our population, our space, and our number of outlets, if you look at it in all these various factors and variables, in theory, we are actually higher That means our online activity is more compact and a lot more. Why I'm bringing this out is to share with quite a few of you, especially food and beverage owners that you have plugged in and you are thinking about, should I be spending more money doing online activity? Well, hope this answers your question. The answer is yes, because all these people, they are doing the activity. Our Singaporeans, if you're Singapore business especially, they are performing their search and doing a lot of their activity and businesses online. Private businesses, like their search, their food and all this online can be seen. We are a lot more than other countries. So take note of this. And of course, if you have one outlet, the good news is, as I showed earlier, you do not just need to be restricted to your outlet activities, whether is it people searching for a location or whether is it just like depending on the various online food delivery platforms to get your word out. You can actually be doing your own and has shown you can actually be amplifying. And of course, one thing leads to another. If your social is strong, again, your search engine rank page will be affected and there are more people looking for you and your brand will be built up. Now, of course, this is a very simple experiment just to show you that Coffee Bean versus Starbucks, the statistics, what is it all about? Most of you will already know that, of course, Starbucks will be the clear winner. And I just put in some thoughts about why some of the numbers are there and hope it can help some of the F&B as a catalyst to do some of the thinking for their marketing, for the social media marketing or digital marketing. Now, if you're looking for some resources, again, the links below, we have spoke about how we grew our Instagram, how we use content to grow followers, to grow engagement. And again, I hope it will value add to you in some way as well. So now you get an answer. And I hope a little bit more with our little bit sharing about what all the stats, what we can actually infer from it. So Starbucks, Coffee Bean, which one is more popular, which one more people search for it. I think the answer is very clear. It's actually Starbucks. And I hope this has a little bit of entertainment value other than always the lecture and the sharing of the stats that we go into. Thank you for tuning in. And once again, if you are following us, you have been tuning in, do give us a like. And if you have not subscribed to our channel, do subscribe to it. Appreciate that a lot. And look forward to seeing you in the subsequent video.